So those two boards were the catalyst for 2007 world title.
How old were you?
Turned 26 that year.
I do remember this board. We were making a lot of boards back then for you, but you just wanted that one more. You know, I'm just not quite right. Man, you've got like 40 boards.
Yeah.
And I remember I had the shits going, he's fine. And I went, all right, I'll do you one more. And I remember just getting this one in here, and I remember just scrubbing that thing out and just doing it, I don't know, 7 minutes, I think it took me, maybe 8.
Maybe you should only do that now.
I know.
You made me this board, and I just went out for a late arvo out off the wall D-bar. I got Shagger to film. It just felt incredible. You said Shagger rang in.
Yeah, so I don't know what you did on that board, but it's incredible. And I went, well, maybe because I shaped it in 7 minutes.
I still look at the way you've shaped the tail, the way that everything was just rolled. It was just a totally different feeling, and just had this instant response that I was like, this is the perfect thing that I've been looking for.
And all the sprays on these.
It's all my amazing artwork. I just had one can of spray paint at home, it was blue. Put some tape on, didn't really think about it too much.
So on this world title, you're in Brazil. Who was coming second?
Taj was coming second, and Kelly was still in the draw too. So it was between the three of us, and I was just about to go out and have a heat with Parko. Paddled out in the water, and there was a minute to go. We saw Taj paddling into a wave, and he fell, and Joe was like, what happened? I went, I just won.
So Joel was out there?
Yeah, me and Joel were out there, and I was just freaking out, and Joel was freaking out, and then he was like, oh, quick, our heat's gonna start. I don't know, are they gonna have a break or what? I was like, I don't know. He's like, all right, well, first wave, let's go switchfoot. And I'm like, okay. And so that was sort of like the image of me taking off switchfoot and claiming it. But then you see Joel look at me, and it was a really good wave that came through. He's like, I'm going. They're trying to get a score on me. Typical Joel.
Yeah, typical Joel.
Yeah, the whole feeling of it all was more this weight that lifted off my shoulders, and had that heat against Joel, beat Joel, and then I was in the final against Otto, and I was celebrating on the beach. I think I drank like half a bottle of champagne, but at that stage, I could only go right. If I went left, I started getting too dizzy, and I started feeling sick, so I'd dive off because I was sort of too drunk. And so I was like, Otto, you just go left. You can have any left you want. Even if I got priority, you can have any left you want. He's like, all right. And he came in, he's like, damn, I couldn't even beat you and you're drunk. I put so much focus in the year with making sure I was on the money every time. I was just one-track mind. I couldn't talk to anyone. I just couldn't carry a conversation because I was always thinking. And
was it draining?
it was. Yeah, I got to the end of it and sort of come home and realised like I sort of wasn't there for family and friends, and the next year I was just exhausted, like truly exhausted. And I went from winning world title to my worst year on tour.
And winning that world title, coming back to Coolangatta, into the airport, surprise party.
It was hilarious. It sort of started in Brazil. Typical Aussies, everyone was around the pool bar at this hotel, and it was amazing. Heroes like Oki and Louis, and then my mates that I grew up with, Parko and Dingo and Speed, Tommy Witts, Taj, and everyone there. It was a really cool day. And then I don't think Ock had showered in about a week, so he stunk real bad, and I had to sit next to him all the way home.
That's like an 18-hour trip or something?
And then we got off the plane, and just to see how crazy, like I didn't know what was happening. Fish was hiding out as we were driving out, like jumped in the limo. Fish was in the nude with a sign. Yeah. He's like, give us a lift home, champ, and he was totally nude. Yeah. And
did you pick him up?
Nah. To rock up to Kira Pub and see all that go on was just next level. And Grinspoon comes out, and just so many incredible people that surrounded all my mates that got me through my injury to get surfing again. And there was dark days when I was injured and depressed, like straight up depressed. They would just pick me up, just take me to the beach or take me to the movies because I couldn't move. Just good people everywhere. And then guys like MR would give me like little bits of advice throughout the year. And
you got a special sort of friendship with MR, haven't you?
Coach Phil was just such a big MR fan. Every time we'd talk about competing and, giving it your all, he'd always bring back this story of MR, all almost paddling up the rocks at Burleigh, just trying to get a wave. Then he just never gave in. I got chatting to him one day and he was just giving me so much insight of how he competed and how he just looks at the tour and how to beat this guy and that guy. And that was a really big thing for me from that time that he gave me, was something that I kept throughout my whole career.